Hey friends, it's time for 5 Under 5 Home Decor for the Holidays, hosted by Missy from Crafty Cove DIY, Emily from Farm Charm Chic, and guest Connie from Connie's Creative Creations. Links in the description box. So for my first DIY, I'm using this candy cane bag. I love this image. I want to make this into a sign that I can hang up for the holidays. In my home, we have a candy cane, sweets kind of theme going on. So that's what we're planning to do. And I'm going to use this foam board just to cut out the shape and make this a bit sturdier. So once I had my foam board cut out, I double checked to make sure that it was the same size as the bag. Then I removed the handles from the bag and started to cut the front portion out. And with the front piece of my bag cut out, I'm using Mod Podge to adhere this to my piece of foam board, and I put a generous amount of Mod Podge, and then I used the roller to roll it out to make sure that I got all the air bubbles out and that it was really as flat as I could possibly get it. And then I seal the top with a generous amount of matte Mod Podge to protect this so we can use it past this Christmas. And with all the Mod Podge dry, I used red tube mesh to frame out my sign. And I made a small bow with this red and black buffalo check ribbon just to go on top to disguise the little holes where the hangers were. I know this isn't the best bow, you guys. I'm not the best bow maker. And I used a bit of red and white wired ribbon to add a hanger in the back. And then I just covered it with a small piece of cardboard to help it to be secure. And here's my completed sign. It's just perfect for our theme this year. I really love the way this sign turned out. Our hosts, Missy and Emily, have gorgeous farmhouse decor on a budget on their channels. Please check them out for some great inspiration. And our co-host, Connie, does some awesome woodworking projects and has fabulous nails. I have the larger of 2 burner covers in a set from DollarTree, and this will be a hanging sign for Christmas. But first I need to cover this in some Rust-Oleum white paint. Once the paint was dry on the pan, I used one of these foam gingerbread men from the multi-pack at Dollar Tree and applied Gorilla Clear Grip glue all around the outside edge. I know they have a tendency to curl up, so I really wanted the edges to really be stuck down, so I pressed it down really firmly, and then I ended up using my Mod Podge roller to go over it to make sure that it was really secure. Okay, I have this crafter square gingham to go around the outside edge. I think that'll look really nice. And for the trim on the top, I'm going to use this peppermint looking yarn that I've been getting so much use out of lately. I used multicolored gemstone stickers for his candy buttons down the front, rhinestone stickers for his eyes, and then some white 3D paint to add the frosting accents to his arms and legs and a little frosted smile. So in this area, I think I'm going to add a couple of little friends for this gingerbread man, some smaller ones, and I'll just use nutmeg brown. And then I use paint markers just to add little icing accents, the bow tie, and some little colorful buttons down the front of him. And I applied them with hot glue, gave him a gingham bow tie, and then added a little gingham hanger to the top and the back. And then I added a small piece of cardboard just to make sure that my hanger would be secure. Flipped it over, and here's my finished gingerbread man sign. I can either have this sitting up like this, or I can hang this. I love it either way. He just came out so adorable with his little buddies. Found this nice galvanized snowman hanging plaque. I think he'll be better standing, but first I'm gonna give him some features using these gems, adhesive gems from Walmart and a piece of pearl wrap from DollarTree. I'm just gonna paint these black with a bit of apple barrel jet black. So he has eyes and a mouth. Using a piece of scrap cardboard, I start making him a hat and just size it to the top of the head and make a few snips. Hot glue those pieces together, and then I took a piece of scrap black felt to cover the hat to complete it. If you're not already subscribed, I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel. I'd love to have you on board, and hit that bell notification so you'll know every time I upload a new video. He's looking pretty happy, but he does need a carrot nose. So just using this jack-o'-lantern felt sticker, I cut a carrot shape out of it and attach it. And he needs a scarf, so I use a bit of black and red buffalo check ribbon to give him a scarf around his neck, and then I add a few more embellishments, like he needs a little accent on his hat and he needs buttons down the front part of him, so I use the same gems for his eyes, just a little bit smaller shape, and give him just a few little buttons down the front. I add a bit of hot glue to make sure that the scarf stays down and secure onto him, and then a few tumbling tower blocks to the back side so that he'll stand up properly. And then I was looking at him and he just looked too shiny and new, so I took a little bit of brown paint off camera and put it around the edges so he looks like he has faux rust, and oh my gosh, that was it. That just like shot his cute factor up so much. Just that little bit of faux rust just made him so much more adorable. Let me know, what do you guys think of my little galvanized Frosty? I have this ceramic truck from Dollartree, and this I want to become a gingerbread truck with like pastel colored banner, and I have a pastel-y green for this tree and the wreath, just to make it kind of like sweet, soft candy type colors. And I have nutmeg brown for my truck body. I used Ceramicoat Lime Sorbet to paint in the tree on the back and the wreath that's on the hood. And Ballet Slipper is my accent color that I'm going to trim out the truck with. And I did end up using, I think, like two to three coats of the nutmeg brown to get a nice deep brown for the truck. And for the Mary banner on either side of the truck, I used Seashell Pink from Folk Art. It's a few shades lighter than the Ballet Slipper, just to give a little variation. And then I colored in the grill with a matte Daybreak Folk Art paint, but then I ended up painting over that white so it looked more like frosting in the end. I used my red paint marker to draw out little triangles on the wheels and colored them in so that my wheels look like Starlight Mints. So yeah, here I am just covering over the Daybreak with the matte white apple barrel paint. And then I used a white 3D paint I found at Dollar Tree to add a frosting detail around the truck. After I did a base trim with the white paint, I went ahead and added some little frosted dots to the roof and some little frosting, little squiggles to the fenders and then to the back side of the truck as well, and some frosted detail on the tree that was in the bed of the truck. And then in the front for the headlights, I thought it'd be really cute if I made them look like Starlight Mints as well. So I just used my same red paint marker just to add some little lines. So I had tiny little mints for my headlights. For the pink Mary banner, to really make the letters pop, I used a white paint marker just to go over the letters so they really stood out. And then I grabbed different colors of 3D paint and I added more frosting effect to the tree, to the roof of the truck, the wreath that's on the hood and all of the little icing areas. I added little dots of color here and there, just so it looked really like little bits of gumdrops were all over and the frosting on the truck. And then for the grill, I'm using some of that same peppermint yarn that I used in an earlier project, and I just go around the outside edge of my grill and just trim it out in this peppermint yarn. And I did totally cover this in a gloss Mod Podge before I added the yarn, but then I felt that it was missing something, so I added the extreme glitter from Folk Art so it looked like it was covered in sugar, and I just gave this a really good coating all over in this extreme glitter, and that really kicked it up a notch. And here's my completed gingerbread truck. It turned out so much better than I thought it would. I absolutely love the brown and pink combinations. This coordinates with a gingerbread house I made a few weeks ago. I just love this. It's gonna go so well with that gingerbread house. I love the Starlight Mint wheels, the pink banner, the glitter on top that looks like sugar, just everything about this truck. Let me know, what do you guys think of my gingerbread truck? And I will leave a link if you want to see how I made the gingerbread house. This is going to be such a literally sweetly decorated Christmas at our house this year. For my last project, I have this piece of scrap wood. I got this for free at Home Depot. And I have these poster stickers. And so using my rulers, I spell out Noel on the front part of the wood, and I try to get them as straight and even as possible and try to get them really smooth down flat onto the wood, because I'm going to add antique wax to paint over this, and I really don't want any of that wax to bleed through underneath the stickers. So I wipe off as much of the excess wax as possible. Then I start to pick my letters off, and I end up using a razor knife to try to get all my letters picked off. But I was pleasantly surprised that the stickers really did a good job, and the Noel looks really nice in that wood. And the antique wax really helps to bring out the grain of the wood, and it looks really pretty. So I'm using these stencils from Martha Stewart and this bright green from Apple Barrel and a classic red for this holly berry accent that I have on either side of the Noel. And for the top part of the wood, I found these metal tea light holder houses at Dollar Tree, and I want to glue these on top, and I'm using Gorilla Clear Grip glue so I have a permanent hold. And in between the houses, I have miniature evergreen trees that I found after Christmas last year, I think for 25 cents at Dollar General, so I'm well under my $5 for this project. And once my glue had set up for a few hours, I laid my piece down and added just some little bows that I had tied with that same peppermint ribbon from the earlier projects, just to add a little accent to the front of each of the houses. And here's my completed project. It turned out really, really great. I just love the way this looks. Home Depot's trash has literally become my Christmas treasure. It looks so nice with the added tea lights. I found these at Dollar Tree as well. 2 for $1. The color change lights just really add a nice effect to it. And this will look great in my family room. And here's a look at all of my 5 under 5 home decor for the holidays projects. I've given you a little rustic, a little bit of sweetness, and I hope you've enjoyed them all today. Please enjoy the playlist. There are so many talented creators, and I hope you'll consider subscribing to my channel and coming back for more DIYs, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful holiday season.